Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, November 1, 2021. An agreement for a 4% wage increase and other allowances for public sector workers was signed by the Ministry of Finance and the Joint Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU, on Friday. In this one-year agreement, workers earning up to $1.5 million annually will also get a one-off payment of $40,000. Only 50,000 workers, or approximately 50% of public sector employees, have so far signed onto the agreement. Payment is expected to be made in December this year, retroactive from April 1. But Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says this is dependent on the remaining public sector groups signing the agreement.
We want to work with our other partners that are represented by many unions and bargaining groups to fast track the completion of the negotiations for this year, which we have presented as a bridge, as a holding period, in light of the debilitating impact of the pandemic on government revenues, so that we can be in a position to make the deeper, more fundamental and structural changes that will improve the experience of working in the public sector beginning April 1st of 2022.
Members of the JCTU welcomed the short-term agreement.
We are at a point where the wage cycle ends in March of next year. But once we sign, the work has really just begun for us, because we are moving immediately into finalizing the discussions around the compensation review and implementation, as was promised in April of next year.
Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark has given government's commitment to begin implementation of the public sector compensation review by April 1, 2022. The review is intended to overhaul the structure of salaries and other emoluments in the public service to make them more equitable. Dr. Clark says the undertaking is in the interest of both the government and public sector employees.
The government is constrained from providing quality services to the people of Jamaica if we continue to have a public sector compensation system that is not geared towards the retention of talent. So we will do what is necessary to put ourselves in a position that we can begin the implementation in April. But as I said before, the caveat is that we cannot afford to carry the payments for this year into next year, because it will obviously, if we have to pay this year and next year, then it compromises what we can do next year.
Dr. Clark was speaking during Friday's signing of the new 12-month 2021-22 Heads of Agreement. The review was initially slated to get underway during the 2021-22 financial year, but was deferred due to the adverse impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I am deeply grateful to the Confederation for their understanding of this position that the Jamaican economy and the government is in, and that understanding has allowed us to focus with fierce degree of momentum on making the resources available to attack the pandemic and to provide support for the vulnerable.
The Bustamante Hospital for Children has received a donation of well-needed eye examination equipment valued at $275,000, which will boost services at the ophthalmology department. The binocular indirect ophthalmoscope provided by IQ Optical was handed over on Friday. It will assist in examining patients' eyes for early detection of abnormal eye conditions and diseases.
This piece of equipment will help us in assessing the premature babies for retinopathy of prematurity. It will facilitate timely intervention and may actually assist in helping one of these children to actually have a normal life with normal vision, rather than suffering or starting out life with compromised vision or even total blindness.
Acting CEO for the hospital, Dr. Camille Wallen-Panton, lauded IQ Optical on its goodwill gesture, which she says will improve patient care.
This is a nice gift especially it coming closer to Christmas. I'm sure we're ending the year, feeling good in our high department.
When we had our 22nd anniversary earlier this year, we decided to donate a percentage of the money that we collected that month towards something to donate to the hospital. And so we worked towards being able to procure that, and I'm very proud and happy today to be able to hand this over.
Jamaicans will soon benefit from a more efficient and customer-centric postal service, with plans in place to develop the industry. Postmaster General Lincoln Allen says through its 9 strategic objectives, Jamaica Post has begun the process of rebranding and repositioning the organization.
We have started to renovate some of our locations and strengthen our IT infrastructure. We intend to improve our communication with our stakeholders with the introduction of a new PBX system, as well as with the strengthening of our customer service capacity within the department.
Mr. Allen was speaking last Friday at Jamaica Post's 350th anniversary stamp launch held at the Post and Telecommunications Department. He says that with Jamaica Post operating from over 200 locations, its premium service offerings will be enhanced and expanded. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is now in Glasgow, Scotland, representing Jamaica's interests at the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference of the Parties, commonly known as COP26. Mr. Holness left the island Saturday for the conference, which expects parties to give updates on their country's pledges to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. COP26 is being held under the co-presidency of the United Kingdom and Italy. During his visit, Prime Minister Holness will hold bilateral discussions with world leaders on the margins of the conference. Minister Horace Chang is in charge of the government until the Prime Minister's return on Wednesday. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.